So, what to talk about? These are some crazy big trees. What to talk about? So, apparently there's a new president of America. Fingers crossed that they're going to spiral their way up to better things. Stop spending money on militaries and start spending money on caring for the people. Like, we're in the age where we can actually solve world hunger, feed everyone, clothe everyone, house everyone. There's no need for military anymore. I think it's complete and utter nonsense that trillions of dollars can be spent on these things. It's horrifying. So, what about, seeing we're in Australia and the investigator ship is on that sign, what can we investigate about Australia? We basically have zero coronavirus. It's a beautiful place to come and visit. We recently signed on with marriage equality and all that sort of stuff, so you can come and start a family over here if you're not of the old Catholic heterosexual persuasion that used to dominate this region. We're getting better slowly with a lot of things, but we really need a new government ourselves. I'm pretty sick of democracy in Australia, to be honest. It's just nonsense commercialisation of everything. Logic seems to so often go out the window because commerce and self-service is too commonly the dominating force of the land. But I mean, all it takes is a little bit of a people power to change that, doesn't it? What else? How about SpaceX? They're doing some amazing things. The Starship is about to launch its first 15-kilometer journey. Let's see if this thing can land upright like SpaceX's other rockets, and like, it's very interesting. Oh, and how about 360 cameras now? Look at these butterflies, that's cool. How about 360 cameras? I'm filming this on a GoPro Max, and when SpaceX's Starlink constellations have a few more satellites in orbit, like their beta test group is already getting 170 megabits a second, like faster than most American broadband, tons faster than most of Australian broadband. And yeah, so planetary internet, pretty cool. So let's get lots of live streaming 360 cameras. Let's start planning virtual reality interactions and simultaneous concerts and movements. Let's get all the technology in order to test out infrastructure for world votes. Let's do the first world votes on things like art and music and core values. Let's have a vote on what values, what small groups of values or medium groups of values that we should test the first artificial superintelligence algorithms on. My vote is joyful, responsible abundance. That's why I registered the domain Gadra Earth, the Global Association for Joyful, Responsible Abundance on Earth. It's not really in existence as yet. I've had the domain gadra.earth and gadraearth.com for a couple of years. It's been something that's niggled away at me for quite some time. I want to build it. I want to finish building my aura of intelligence, operating intelligence. I've got tools that I need to do it now, basically. Just procrastinating heavily, and haven't put myself in the right environment. The right people haven't, and vice versa. The environment hasn't put me into the right environment. So yeah, I dropped the ball, but I kind of believe that everything happens for a reason, and you're in the right place at the right time when it's the right thing to go. So when the universe, and some of you guys out there, guys and gals, preferably some good looking gals, because I'm heterosexual and single, and I'd like to work on some of these projects with a spectrum. So some projects I'd like to work with lots of women, some projects I'd like to work with a good mix, other projects mostly guys, different age groups as well. Like, there's a lot to explore, a lot to do. We're talking about planetary scale artificial superintelligence that helps us to survive any possible apocalypse or Earth catastrophe cycle or galactic catastrophe. Diversity is key. Balance is always essential, or seeking equilibrium, but not having it as an essential function to stay at equilibrium. Yeah. These things are all coming to fruition, whether you see it or not. It's all happening. We just need to get it, more pockets of the right people, so that joyful, responsible abundance is practiced quite often. And then once it's practiced, and a lot of people get good at it, and we've got the ability to then train these algorithms on that, then that's when we should release the artificial superintelligence. But don't even bother trying to train it on Reddit or subreddits or Twitter feeds or YouTube content or Facebook data. I mean, or WeChat or anything. Don't try and train it on that. You'll kill us all. Like, there's so much nonsense and bad actors in those forums, like people not acting their best self. They're in the they feel like they're in the shadows, so they have to work like a nasty shadow demon. But when people are in a forum for joyful, responsible abundance and start talking about art. No, you don't want to follow me? Art and culture and joy and caring for one another, caring for the planet, then those are the conversations, those are the activities that we want to train the algorithm on. Those are the values, the virtues, the belief systems. Like that, my friends and lovers and mentors and students and everyone else out there, that is what we should aspire to when thinking of artificial intelligence and artificial and super intelligence, because if it's created by a singular genius in their backyard, or they've run an algorithm to create a botnet from different mobile phones or other computers and train it on whatever data they can gather, the data's too polluted. Like, it's still possible that one individual can clean the data and do a good thing, like create it, but the risk is high. The risk is high. That's why I didn't finish my work. Need that data first. That lowers the risk, increases the probability of having joyful, responsible abundance. Love, hope, friendship, community, safe environment, hospitable environment, people that share and care and love and enjoy. Like, that's what I want more of. I've spent some dark times in the recesses of my mind, and while reflecting on what I've seen through the internet of other people's lives, and then so I'm seeking better standard of living myself, like I know a lot of you are too. Like particularly now with COVID, like so many of my friends overseas do not have even a fraction of the free will and normal standard or high standard of living that we have here in Australia. So yeah, my thoughts go out with you, go out to you. I hope that everyone's well and good, and that we all build a really strong, really joyful, really happy, really caring, really loving future as quickly as possible. It's like this path though. Sometimes you don't know where the fuck you are. But like sometimes you're going in circles, you're looping back on yourself, going uphill, downhill, you're in dry areas, wet areas, you got butterflies, or in shadows, you're in light, you're in shade, it's raining, it's not. There's creepy crawlies, there's lizards, there's things that might eat you. Or it can be just perfection, like an edible garden with everything is bliss. So let's find the places of bliss on Earth, let's try and duplicate them more respectively, more responsibly. Let's increase automation so that people have more time and can enjoy the company and their leisure pursuits. Let's create abundance. Let's be responsible about it. And let's use these 360 cameras and the Starlink net. Let's use it to share this data, to create this cloud of information that we can train the super intelligence on. And then let's go off into the universe and build subterranean cities and live thousands or millions of years of age. Have a great old time. Leave all of the nonsense of political argy-bargy and wars and fighting for limited resources. Let's leave that in the past. Right. There's enough games. Yeah. Out with the old, in with the new. So, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed this little philosophical monologue. Get in contact with me on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp or WeChat or whatever, and then come and meet me in my physical space or invite me to yours, and let's chat about this kind of stuff with GoPro Max facilitating our connections and our adventures. Alright? Because I want people in my space that are going to be comfortable essentially having a GoPro Max or other 360 camera as a window into our world for other people, and then creating other avenues like holograms and virtual reality and augmented reality headset, head-mounted displays, and just bootstrapping and creating positive feedback loops that get us further faster, build momentum, build trust, build intelligence, facilitate smiles and good feelings while respecting the environment and doing our best to be cool and enjoy.